Afternoon everyone. Well, if you've seen my earlier video on YouTube of me walking through Sulham Woods, I'm still in Sulham Woods. Still haven't managed to find any wild garlic, which is just extraordinary. Anyway, I've just put up my Webtex Tarp. This is not my usual spot. I've actually moved to the other side of Sulham now. It's about an hour's walk from my house, I suppose. And the reason that I've decided to recce this area to build eventually build a shelter and put up my tarp is because this area of the woods is full of hazel trees. And I'm hoping that, when the hazelnuts are ready, when they're ripened and they're ready to be harvested, this is where I'm going to come and set up my tarp. This will be sort of like my base camp to collect hazelnuts. There's also a lot of pine trees around, so plenty of pine resin to be collected. And as you can see to the right, well, it's not completely clear, but to the right of my tarp there's a small rise in the ground that's absolutely packed full of stinging nettles. So there's plenty of nettles for tea and for soups and all sorts of things. So I'll just take you a little closer to the tarp. If you've seen the video that I have made a few days earlier of my the first time that I took my Webtex Tarp out into Sulham, you'll notice that this time I've put it a lot lower down. And I've made much more of an A-frame design. First time I took it out into Sulham Woods, I actually put it much higher, and I made it much flatter. The tarp was much flatter. That was just to give me more room underneath the tarp. But I think this design is much better. It's lower, gives you good protection from the wind. It's quite a windy day today. And obviously if it rains, the rain is going to run off the tarp much easier than if the tarp is higher with a flatter trajectory. So there's the tarp lower down in the A-frame. I'll be a bit careful actually, because it's quite windy and there's bits of hazelwood falling off the trees. So there's the tarp. What I'll do in this part of the woods, because we're slightly closer to the road and quite close to a bridleway which is used by horses, I won't light a fire here because of the smoke. What I'll do is I'll bring my meth stove and I'll make my tea and cook my lunch on my meth stove, because that doesn't give off any smoke. And obviously there's no big flames with the meth stove, just the small meth burning flame in the actual stove itself, so it's much safer. People won't see it. And also with these windy conditions, and it hasn't rained for quite a long time, it's going to be very dry. Don't want to be lighting a fire in this part of the woods when it's hot and sunny and dry, because you just never know, one small ember could cause a lot of trouble. So in the future, when I come back, I'll bring my meth stove. I think I'll have a nice little setup. As you can see, if I just move to the right of the tarp, there's a whole bank full of nettles, and other plants. So plenty of food, plenty of nutrition, nourishment. Full of hazel trees, so there'll be plenty of hazelnuts together. This is a much better site to base myself in than where I built my shelter previously. As you can see, if I just turn this way, somebody has been here and tried to build themselves a shelter. Kind of a teepee, I guess. Teepee shelter. It's not a bad job. Could do with a bit of work on it though. It's not waterproof, that's for certain. But obviously someone's been here built themselves a shelter. That might come in quite handy. So what I'm planning to do is come here very often. I'll do a bit more scouting around to find more hazel, to make a mental note of where all the hazel is for the hazelnut harvest. And as I said, this is a much better site than where I built my shelter. Plenty of food, free food folks, free, nutritious, healthy, fantastic food, all in that bank there. All I need to do is find some wild garlic and I'll be set. But as I said, it's the strangest thing. I've been wandering around these woods for months. Spent 2 hours walking around the woods today. I haven't seen a single wild garlic plant. Very, very strange, very odd. So there you go folks, there's my tarp A-frame configuration. There is a slight noise of traffic every now and again, but I can live with that, it's not a problem. And I think this is a really beautiful site. Fantastic site to come to. It's not too far from home. It's got everything I need. Okay folks, I hope you're having a great time wherever you are. Hope the weather's good. And I hope you continue to enjoy the beautiful outdoors.